So there's a couple of things that I want to draw your attention to, and I'm going to move quickly through this. Through the very, very preliminary stuff for those of you who have never used Gmail before, because there's certainly going to be plenty of you, even though many of you already have. Um, if you're logging on to Gmail for the first time, it should take you to the inbox. If you look over here at this tab on the left-hand side, there's something that's very, very new that I'll talk about in a moment called the priority inbox. It's actually an incredible addition to Gmail that just came out, I guess, like 2 weeks ago, something like that. If you There's a chance that you'll see up in the top right corner a option for activating the priority inbox. We'll return to that in a moment. But basically, you have a large inbox here. Right now, if I scroll up and down, I can see I have 24 pieces of mail in my inbox. So, and it's pretty simple. Just like any other email, if you want to read mail, you can click on it and you know, can reply or forward it or do whatever it is that you need to do with it. But when you're finished working with email, there's something that Google does differently from most other email programs that you may be accustomed to. With other email programs, especially other web mail programs, you may be tempted to take emails that you're finished using and put them in a folder, or even delete them. And putting things in folders is not how Gmail works at all. And while you have the option of deleting emails, what Gmail encourages you to do is to archive the email. And when I click on this archive button right here, it will take this particular email that says, "Here's your form coffee survey," and remove it from the inbox. So now that email that I just looked at is not in the inbox anymore. If I want to, I can click on undo, and that'll undo it. So here's the email again. But I actually do want this archived. I want it out of my view. And so depending on your own personal workflow of dealing with email, it may be your aspiration, it's certainly mine, to get to what's called inbox zero, where basically your inbox is completely clear and everything is either filed or acted upon or deferred or delegated or whatever. Towards the end of getting your inbox clear, the best approach is to use the archive feature. Now, there's a lot of ways of getting at email that I've archived and removed from my inbox, but besides searching for it. I mean, the most obvious way I could do is just to go to the search blank here, and I think the word forms was in that email. So if I type in forms and press search, I can see, here is my form coffee survey. It just gave me a very quick result of all of the emails that I have that have the word forms in it. But if I just want to browse through email that I have archived, I can click on, it's actually this more button right here to show me more options, and I can click on all mail. Now your specific Gmail may actually show you this all mail link by default. If you use it frequently, then it will probably show up rather than being buried in this drop menu. And if I click on all mail, I can see both pieces of email that are in my inbox, and those have the little tag next to them that says inbox, and those that I've archived. And those are the ones that say that don't have inbox next to them. Now, archiving, basically because you have so much space right now, by default in this standard installation of Google Apps, each user has 8 gigabytes worth of email space. And if you have a Premier account, that automatically updates all of your users to 25 gigabytes of email space, which is quite a lot of space. Because you have so much space, Google would argue there's no particular reason to delete email. And and one of the nice things about just having all of this luxurious space on the web to have tons and tons of email is that you don't have to look at email and say, is there any chance that I'm going to have to ever come back and look at this? Because I know that, for years and years, I don't know what it's like anymore. Microsoft Exchange mail files had a maximum size of 2 GB, and so you always had to figure out like, do I move this mail to some other place because it's going to run afoul of my Exchange server, or how do I deal with this situation? You don't have to worry about it in the world of Gmail, because you can just keep expanding your storage and archive, and always have the opportunity to go back. So I mean, like for example, last week had occasion to try to figure out who somebody gave me gave me and my wife a tent for our wedding, and that was in 2005, and I was able to write a very quick search and go back and find the name of the identity of the person who sent us this tent many years ago. So that functionality is extremely useful. First thing that makes Gmail different is that you archive rather than delete. Now, I want to turn your attention to another feature that I just mentioned, that's very simple from my perspective, but under the hood is probably incredibly complicated. And that's the priority inbox. And when I click on priority inbox, I see what Google has begun doing in the past, I guess, 10 days, or maybe it might have been more than 2 weeks ago. They've released these algorithms that will make an effort to sort your email by whether each individual email item is important or not. And then once it has tagged your email as being important, which is by this little yellow tag here, that's how Google shows you what it thinks is important. It will group all of those emails up at the top and then move everything else down at the bottom. So, for example, and one of the things that's really awesome about the priority inbox is that you have the ability to train the whatever algorithms they're using to make these determinations, to understand you personally and what you psychologically think is important. So, if this particular email from the Gmail team, Get Your Email Faster with Gmail Priority Inbox, if I decided that that wasn't going to be important, and these other emails that I sent myself, I can click on this little tag with a negative sign on it, and it will mark those as unimportant. And yes, as you can see, I just got an email from Brian Sawyer asking me if he was a priority. Of course, you're a priority, Brian. And actually, it's funny. Like I wasn't really sure how to demonstrate this because I really don't know how the algorithm works, and so I can't really predict whether Brian would be tagged as a priority or not. But in this case, we've learned that Brian is a priority. I know Brian's a priority. Have I trained Gmail yet to recognize that? I can't say. So anyhow, priority inbox is a very neat little feature. You also notice that this little second grouping here for starred enables you to create sort of a second tier of importance for elements in your inbox. So if I click on the email that Brian just sent me, and I'll just write back, of course you are, and click send, and return to my inbox, or my priority inbox, I can see that it actually has removed the email that Brian just sent me from the important and unread blank or grouping, and moved it down to everything else. If I even though this little yellow important tag still remains, and if I wanted to follow up on this particular email and not get it buried in my everything else pile, I can click on the star, and what Gmail will do is take that email which has been starred, and I'll just reload my priority inbox and move it into this starred blank. So what I have in my personal email, which is loaded with personal stuff that I'm not going to show you, is I will almost immediately read anything that's sent to me that is tagged as important and unread. Usually everything else I'll just get to when I have time, maybe even after a day or two, and the stuff that I really feel that I need to act on, I'll put in the starred blank, and hopefully try not to let that get too high.
Question from the chat room: is there a filing system within the archive, or is the only option the search function?
That is my absolute next topic. So I'm going to pass over that question and hit that when I get started in just a moment, if you don't
Okay.
mind.
Another question from the chat room. Uh, NetIngenuity can figure out how to check or uncheck a group of emails, but can't figure out how to star a group of emails. Is that possible?
Yeah, sure. I mean, if I wanted to star everything right here, I could do select all, and under more actions, there's an add star blank right here. So if I wanted to, I could star absolutely everything.
Or check a bunch of things and then star them among other things. I mean, you would probably wouldn't do it unless you were
Yeah,
also
sure,
doing other
sure. I mean,
things.
you can apply other actions besides starring things. So
And finally, do you know of a way to transfer one Gmail account's emails and labels into another Google Apps Gmail account?
you have the ability to link other accounts to your email. I'm sorry. You have the ability to link other accounts to your Gmail account. So if I'm just looking at my plain vanilla Gmail screen, and then click on Settings, and then on Accounts, I can get mail from other accounts. And this shows me that it has the option of downloading mail using POP3. Not having done this, I think it's probably possible that you could use POP3 to download all of a personal Gmail account to a Google Apps account. But at the very least, you could link the accounts to where you could get mail. You could move mail back and forth easily between one and the other. I just haven't done that specifically.
Or of course, you could forward one to the other, couldn't you?
Yeah, or you could forward. And in fact, I've got at least three different forwarding email addresses that all dump into my Gmail account. So, if you investigate the options, you might find that some of these linking protocols make it easy for you to get what you need to do without necessarily consolidating your mail accounts. But when it comes to actually consolidating your mail accounts, I think that this particular feature might do it. And if not that, there's probably some sort of service through the marketplace or through Google Apps Premier that would allow you to make that consolidation happen.
So would it be possible to get your Yahoo Mail in Gmail?
Well, I actually have a Yahoo Mail account. I have a Dr. Milton account, DrMilton at yahoo.com. I'm not a doctor or anything. I created the handle when I was like 8 because I wanted to be one at the time.
Are
And
you
it
an
stuck.
evil doctor?
Well, yeah, evil doctor, absolutely. And I actually have my Yahoo Mail account set up to forward to my personal Gmail account. I could alternatively set it up through this window that you're looking at right now to pull email from my Yahoo account into my Gmail account if the other mail account that I was using gave me the option to use that. So I know, for example, that Yahoo, I think it's like $20 a year if you want to have like pop access to your mail account. Basically, if you want to look at your mail using a mechanism other than just the web interface, you need to. It's a pay service, and so I did that for a long time, and then I thought, I'll just set it up to forward to Gmail and not worry about using the pop access. So yes, there are a bunch of different ways of setting up that kind of thing.